Hello, everyone. I hope your weekend is going good. Tonight, I would like to talk to you on dealing with a parent who is sick. Sickness can mean that you're physically or mentally ill. I want to share my story with you and give you things that I went through on dealing with this. My mother, she was sick. She had a kidney disease, and she had her good days, she had her bad days, and there was a time she could take care of herself, and then there was a time that she needed a little extra help. So I decided to move in with her and help care for her. And that included me taking her to dialysis appointments, taking her to different doctor's appointments, helping her to make sure she ate well, helping her to remind her to take her medicine if she needed reminding, or just sometimes she was so weak she couldn't even open a medicine bottle, so I would have to help with that. At that time in my life, I was a single mother, and I worked third shift. So she went to dialysis 3 days a week, and then sometimes she would have doctor's appointments. So at times, I'm not gonna lie, it sometimes was draining. But the reason I'm making this video is to help you and give you insight and help also offer you encouragement. One of the biggest things I could tell you is to take care of yourself first, because when your cup is empty, you can't pour into others. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself first when you're caring for someone else. Um, I would say offer them words of encouragement. That's one thing I try to do with my mom, is give her words of encouragement, because when you're dealing with this sickness, it's hard. And when you offer words of encouragement, it brings joy to your heart. And the Bible tells us that joyful heart is good medicine. And when someone's spirit is crushed, it dries up your bones. So I would say offering words of encouragement, it can bring them joy, and that's also a natural good medicine to give them. Another thing is, if they are up to it and they can eat, I would make sure to provide nutritious meals for them, and make sure they're getting a good nutrition in their diet. That's very, very important. Um, even if it's something at the time that you made and they don't feel like eating, like at times my mom just couldn't eat certain things, so I would offer something else to her and make sure that she's eating good. That's very important when you're sick. Another thing that I would say is to make sure that another thing I would say is to make sure that a huge thing, respect their wishes. Sometimes my mom, she would just say, because I was always concerned, like, well, I don't want her to stay in the house and sleep all the time because I'm afraid she could get depressed, and I don't want her to get like that. But one day she set me aside and she was like, Adriana, I just need to rest. I just want rest. It's not that I'm depressed. My body is just tired. All I want is rest. I don't want nobody to call me. I don't want to answer the phones right now. Sometimes people that sick, they just don't feel like being bothered. And it's not necessarily because they're depressed or anything like that. It's just sometimes when you're not healthy, your body needs that rest. So I had to learn to respect my mom's wishes. And at times when she didn't feel like going anywhere, I had to respect that and let her get her rest. Even if she was sleeping for hours at a time, that's what her body needed. So I had to respect that. So definitely respect their wishes. Another thing is to pray with them. Let them see that you're praying with them. Let them see that they are not alone in this, that God is here for them, that you are here for them. Pray with them, pray for them. That's very important. There was many nights that I would see my mom just crying out to God to help her. And then there was nights, sometimes me and her would pray together. And that's really good to offer someone that who is sick and going through that. Another thing is to put yourself in their shoes when it becomes draining. And sometimes you may get a little frustrated because you have your own life problems and you could have children, you could be working. And when you're having to care for someone, sometimes you don't always, sometimes your job might not let you off. And you have to take off and miss out on money. But put yourself in their shoes because they didn't choose to be unhealthy. That's something you have to remember. They didn't choose to be unhealthy. I'm sure if they could have it their way, they would choose to be healthy. They would love to be healthy, but unfortunately, that's not always the plan for us. So put yourself in their shoes. So when you start to get frustrated, think about, how would I feel if I was in this situation? How would I feel if someone was treating me like that? How would I want to be treated if I was in this situation? Sometimes I would clean my mom's house for her. Sometimes, like I said, I would cook her meals if something sounded good. If I couldn't cook it, I would go get it for her. Things like that. And also other people did that for my mother as well. There's a few people who would bring her things, a few people who would help out and take her to her doctor's appointments and things like that. But always put yourself in that person's shoes and always remember that they did not choose to be unhealthy. That's very important. And always, always be there for them. Let them know that they are not alone in this. And in Deuteronomy 147:3, he tells us that he heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wounds. Also in Deuteronomy, he tells us that he will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. I know at times that can be hard, but read those scriptures. Read those scriptures to yourself to help you if you're the caregiver. Read those scriptures to your parent to help them and give them hope. I had my dad, he was sick physically. He was in a wheelchair. And one thing, he lived in Alabama, and he would love for people to bring him hot meals. That was important because he wasn't able to go out and get a meal by himself. Keep in mind and remember things like that, even if it's not a parent and you know someone who's sick, who's not able to get out of the house. Sometimes bringing them a hot meal would mean the world to them. And not only that, it's good for their health as well, to be well nourished. That's something, watching him deal with that. He wasn't able to drive to the store. He wasn't able to go pick up his medicine. He needed help doing that. So if you see someone in need, offer a helping hand, because if you was in that situation, you would want someone to help you as well. I just want to leave you with a scripture in Matthew 11:28. He tells us, "Come to me, all who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And always remember that. Come to God, that, like I said, you're not alone. And I want to let you know that God is still a healer. Um, he healed the sick back then. He raised the dead, and he's still the same God then as he is now. And don't lose hope. He can heal your parent that is sick. He can heal your family member that is sick, whether it's mentally or physically. And to always stay encouraged. And I love you. If you need prayer, you can also reach out to me, and I would pray with you. If you need help in any way, I'm here to help you. if I have access to you. And just stay encouraged. And I believe that God can heal and will heal your parent if that is in his will. And I just want to tell you that I love you and God bless you. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend. And I hope that my video was able to help you and to touch you in some type of way and to give you some type of encouragement. God bless, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.